Trudie sitting in for Joanne. Let's talk eyeglasses, because that is one of the things that our tech expert, Chris Abel, is going to bring us the latest about. Good morning, Chris.
Oh, good morning, Trudie.
So tell us about these autofocus glasses. How do they work?
They are a pair of eyeglasses that have the ability to alter their prescription to match your needs on the fly. So the way that it works is you have a pair of glasses, you're wearing them. They have an eye tracking device built into the frames. So they're constantly watching your eyes and noticing when you're having difficulty seeing something. And so the lenses that are built into the glasses have liquid crystal lenses, and that means that they can adjust to be able to change whether you have far-sighted needs or nearsighted needs. Obviously, this is a replacement for things like bifocals or trifocals. The problem with bifocals, you're having to constantly adjust to the glasses. There are two fields, up and below. And you have to, if you want to look at something that you're reading, then you have to train yourself to look down. If you want to see something far away, you have to train yourself to look up and sort of tilt your head. No. These glasses adjust to your needs. And so when they sense that you're looking far away, the liquid crystals alter and change so that you have sharper vision when you're looking down through your glasses.
I am intrigued by this possibility. I've worn bifocals for decades. I think I started wearing them when I was still a teenager, actually. So this I find very intriguing. Now, these would have to be powered, right? They would have to have a battery of some type, I'm guessing?
That's correct. And so you'd get into the habit that when you go to bed, you'd plug in the glasses to charge. And so you'd have the use of them throughout the rest of the day, the next day when you wake up. Now, the glasses aren't just for people with bifocals or trifocals. What they're addressing here is sort of age-related myopia, which everyone has to deal with. And what they have found is that if you wear these glasses and you're using them over time, they will actually slow the progression of age-related myopia. And the most exciting part, they're saying the next generation of glasses, when they come out with these, can actually reverse the effects of myopia, which I find very exciting. They're saying that the plan is to launch these glasses later in the fall. Don't know yet what the price is going to be, but this is all coming from a company in Finland called CJAD, and so I think this is really exciting.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Now, we've been hearing about robotic surgery for a while now, but I think bringing AI into the mix is something new. Am I correct, Chris?
Yes, and so the big exciting thing is humanoid and robotics has been just going crazy in the past couple of years. It's amazing how many companies are coming out with new robots. And one of the big trends that they're finding is that using AI means you can actually teach a robot by simply showing it a task. And so I've seen companies that have shown robots, they'll watch somebody make the bed, and then the robot can make the bed. Or they'll watch somebody make a sandwich, and then the robot can make a sandwich. So at Johns Hopkins University in Maryland, they decided, can we do this for surgery then? And so they have taken a robot that's powered by artificial intelligence, that has this ability to learn things simply by watching, and they fed it videos of human surgeons performing gallbladder surgery. And the robot watched it enough to be able to learn how to be able to perform it itself. They've now had that robot perform gallbladder surgery by itself, autonomously, without human help, and it's done it 8 times and has reached it with a 100% accuracy.
I finding my blood chilled by this one, actually, Chris.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the patient? Now, I understand there were, in the experimental phase, there are doctors there like hovering over, ready to intervene if something starts going wrong, but still. Oh,
yeah. Well, and that's exactly the situation that they've recreated. So, yes, while the robot was performing the surgeries, there were veteran human doctors hovering over top, which is what they would do even for a novice or student doctor. And they gave the robot voice control functionality. So the doctors at any time could leap in and speak to the robot and make adjustments if needed to sort of give it guidance. What is really challenging and surprising is that any time a doctor has to perform an operation on somebody, the first step is they have to orientate themselves as to where the location of everything is in. Because unlike a robot performing a task or a repair on a television where all televisions are the same, not all human bodies are the same. We're all squishy. Things move about. And so the challenge for this robot was once it opened up the cadaver, it had to be able to identify all the various parts, the veins, the organs. And the doctors, each time, because they did this 8 times, they would throw a little bit of a problem towards the robot. They would add color dyes to change the colors of some of the organs. And they found, regardless, the artificial intelligence was always able to identify all the different parts and perform the surgery. And they've done it 8 times, as I said, 100%.
Okay. Oh, well, that's promising. We'll have to watch for developments on that score. And does Sotheby's actually call this Geek Week, or do they call it something else?
No. I am very proud and very happy to say that they do call it Geek Week. This is a week-long series of high-level, high-profile auctions. And the reason that they're calling it Geek Week is because it follows 3 different sections of interest that we normally associate with geeks. So the first section is going to be on natural history, and that includes skeletons, includes fossils. And so the big one is that there's a dinosaur, a complete dinosaur. It is a juvenile Ceratosaurus. So you can purchase the entire skeleton. That'll be up for display. And then the second section is all about space. And the amazing thing is they're offering the largest piece of Mars on Earth. This is a massive 54-pound Martian meteorite that has landed, been recovered, and so this is going up for auction. And then the third section of the auctions is technology. And so they have one of the original first 50 Apple I computers that were handmade by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak when they first started out. And so over the years, you can imagine various collectors have gotten their hands on these various Apple I computers, which have all been in various states and conditions. This one's called the ROM key. It is considered the one that's in the most finest operational condition. Not only is it really pristine, but it still functions, it still works. And so Sotheby's is going to be putting that up for auction. Any
minimum bid on that item?
$350,000 is where they're starting.
Oh.
That's shocking for me because the one thing about auction houses is that traditionally vintage computers and technology hasn't been something that has raised the prices or done very well. It just hasn't sold as well as art, as other categories. And so I'm intrigued by this because that's much higher than I was expecting, even though this is a really historic piece of computer equipment. We'll have to see how well it does, whether Sotheby's is successful in finally starting to get some of the big prices for things like vintage computers, like they've gotten for skeletons, for art, for sculpture.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if there ends up being a bidding war, too, by involving a number of Quebecers. Chris Abel, thanks very much.
All right, take care.
Chris Abel is our tech expert.